Shadows of Betrayal Part 1. The room is dim, lit only by a sliver of moonlight through half-drawn curtains. Arya sits alone on the bed, tears streaming down her face. In her arms, she clutches a worn photograph of her former husband, Farhan, gazing down at his familiar face. Her sobs are quiet but intense, filled with heartbreak and the weight of the unknown future for herself and her 7-month-old son, Fahim. Suddenly, her phone buzzes. The noise shatters the silence, making her jump. She reaches for it, squinting at the screen. The name, Farhan, still saved under the familiar nickname she hadn't had the heart to change.
Farhan.
There's a long pause, just Arya's uneven breathing. Finally, she answers.
Arya, I never wanted to leave you, or Fahim. This wasn't my choice. It's like something dark forced me away. You don't know what's going on, but I wanted to live with you till my last breath.
Farhan, what are you saying? Why are you calling me? You divorced me, moved on. What's going on?
I know you haven't accepted it, Arya. I can feel it, and even now, I know you're clutching my picture. There's something you need to know. I didn't leave by choice. Some truths I couldn't say, others you'll have to find on your own. But I don't have much time.
His voice falters, filled with fear.
If tomorrow, in the cold light of morning, you hear that I'm gone, promise me you won't come. Don't look at me, Arya. Let me go without you seeing me like that.
The line goes quiet, his breathing faint. Arya holds the phone, waiting for something, anything. But the silence stretches on. A full half-hour passes before she, numbly, ends the call. The early light of morning filters in through the windows. Arya sits in a trance on the sofa, still trying to comprehend Farhan's words. A knock at the door rouses her. She opens it to find Police Officer Kareem, with a solemn expression.
Ms. Arya, I'm sorry to tell you this, but Farhan was found this morning. He's gone.
Arya takes a step back, her hand trembling.
Gone? But how?
We suspect he ingested poison. The autopsy will tell us more. It doesn't seem like an accident.
Arya's knees buckle slightly as she absorbs the news. She remembers Farhan's final words, the haunting tone in his voice. She swallows, struggling to hold back tears. Her family gathers, waiting for Arya to explain where she's been all morning. Her father, brother, and sisters-in-law sit with stony expressions, watching her as she speaks.
I just wanted to say goodbye to him, that's all. I needed closure.
Her father's face darkens, a hint of anger in his eyes.
Why? You were divorced. You have no right to see him, not after everything.
Arya's sister-in-law, with a sneer, folds her arms.
Did you think of your son, Arya? You left him here to chase a ghost.
Silence falls over the room as Arya's brother joins in, his tone accusing.
And on top of that, there's the jewelry, Arya. If you needed money, you could have asked. Why did you have to sell my wife's things?
Arya looks at brother in shock, confusion etched on her face.
What are you talking about? I would never steal anything. This is absurd.
The shopkeeper has the receipt with your name on it. You signed it, Arya. I trusted you.
Arya's face crumples, shocked and hurt. Her family turns their backs, each leaving the room without looking at her. Arya stands alone, crushed, feeling the weight of betrayal as she tries to comprehend what just happened. A week later, Arya sits across from Mr. Rahman, a sharp-eyed investigator she had been introduced to through a mutual friend. They sit at a small, dimly lit table. Arya's hands tremble as she speaks, recounting the events of the past week.
Foreign death, the sudden divorce. Nothing makes sense. And now, my family is accusing me of things I didn't do. Someone's behind all this. I just need to know who.
Mr. Rahman watches her carefully, his eyes narrowing as she speaks.
You still care for him, even after everything?
He was my husband, the father of my child. I need to know the truth.
Mr. Rahman takes a sip of his drink, considering her words.
I'll look into it, but on one condition. No one else knows about this. Not your family, not your friends, no one.
I understand. I'll tell no one.
Good. Meet me here, same time, next Saturday. I'll bring what I find.
Mr. Rahman rises, leaving Arya alone in the dim restaurant. Mr. Rahman rises, leaving Arya alone in the dim restaurant.
Mr. Rahman, did you find something?
You didn't tell me everything, Arya. Like the fact you had a boyfriend before Farhan. And that you met him several times even after you were married.
Arya's face drains of color.
Your boyfriend was found dead tonight, Arya. He kept a diary, filled with accusations against you. Arya betrayed me. Arya deceived me. He even mentioned Farhan, the things he suspected you two had hidden.
No, this is impossible.
You didn't listen, did you? And now, bodies are piling up. This isn't over, Arya.
The line goes dead. Arya sits alone in her darkened room, paralyzed by fear. Heart pounding, Arya rushes to find her father, sensing an impending threat. She searches his room but finds it empty.
Mom, where's Dad?
Her mother, alarmed, joins the search. Family members scour the house, but there's no sign of him. Finally, Arya opens the door to the garden. Her breath catches as she spots her father lying on the cold ground outside. Arya rushes to her father's side, touching his face. His skin is cold, his eyes closed forever. Arya's face fills with horror as the enormity of her loss and betrayal closes in on her. Shadows of Betrayal. Next part coming soon.